Please take your seats. The event will begin in 5 minutes.
Hello and welcome to the 2025 Gold and Silver Circle Induction Ceremony Dinner. If you're here for the Bronze Induction Ceremony, you're 10 years early. So you'll have to come back. You guys will be starting in 1 minute and 35 seconds, so please find your seats. Congratulations to everyone being inducted tonight, and enjoy the evening.
Nicole's interest in journalism started out at a young age. In high school, she started out as an intern at KVOA in her hometown of Tucson. From that experience, she knew journalism was in her blood. She went on to intern for 48 hours in New York and got her first paid gig on the assignment desk and a part-time reporter back in Tucson.
As we celebrate tonight, let us not forget the responsibility that comes with such recognition.
During my time at KVOA, I have covered some of the most impactful stories in the state.
I fell in love with journalism when I saw the impact that it could make on people.
The big thing that I do right now is called On Your Side. In the time I've worked with them, we've gotten back millions of dollars for people that have gotten taken by people.
You never know how you're inspiring somebody or what you're doing, but I don't want to just be here to live on this earth without being productive.
What you do is important. It may be more important than it's ever been.
Despite all the noise, all the cries of fake news, we can still make a difference and impact people's lives.
I never really saw Hispanic women anchors in my markets. It's been a long, tough road, but I'm incredibly proud to be a part of that change today.
The happiness angle is, I suppose, what I feel like if I've been able to bring anything to Arizona, I hope that it's that.
As an engineer and the rest of the engineers I worked with, everybody felt that we had a social and moral responsibility to get the news on every day.
I learned early in my career that a person does not seek the honor seeks the person.
Media relations, you don't run and hide when there's a negative story. You work with the media on every occasion, good, bad, indifferent.
I want to thank you all for this humbling opportunity, and it truly is to be a part of a great magnitude of broadcasters.
This career has defined my life. It's given me the opportunity to tell so many stories.
I've been to hundreds of Emmy functions around the world, and this is, to me, means the most.
Even though I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here, that somebody made a mistake somewhere and there's another Vanessa somewhere that was supposed to be getting this, I am taking this plaque.
And now, please welcome your hosts for the evening, Rocky Mountain Southwest Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Governors, Sue Bredding and Chad Brummett.
Check, check. Good evening and welcome. Sue, I think we've got everybody here. I almost wanted to say, let's get ready to, but different night.
That's okay. That's all right. That sounds good.
But now that we got everybody here, let's meet our inductees for the evening, shall we?
Yes, we have David Majure over here. Hello, David. Are you ready for an exciting night? David is the human on earth who holds the most Emmys, I think, right? It's phenomenal. You don't want to be nominated, just insider tip, Chad, right. You do not want to be nominated in a category against David. Welcome. Hope you have a
Everyone
great
take
evening.
notes.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, next up we have the former president of the Board of Governors, Mr. Doug Mummert. And Doug, do you feel like you kind of got the night off tonight? Like you get to be on the other side of the fence tonight?
Well, I'm going to clear the room out and ask who remembered to get their lottery tickets.
Doug, congratulations.
So fun to honor you, Doug. Over here we have Nicole Kreitz. Nicole, I have seen you come to Silver Circle event after Silver Circle event and be there for other inductees. Now it is your turn. Welcome.
Next up, we have Patricio Gutierrez from Telemundo. He's my new friend. We met earlier this evening. And the only inductee representing a Spanish-speaking station tonight. And we are just so thrilled and honored to welcome you in the important work that Telemundo does especially coming from New Mexico. It is so vital and so important. So welcome and congratulations. Absolutely.
Okay, and over here we have Richard Sines and his fan club. Richard, have you recovered from the Eagles and Cowboys game? That is what Chad and I are wondering.
Barely, but my brother's a big Cowboy fan, so I don't think he's recovered. But I just want to say, I feel like I'm cashing in my lottery ticket right now just being here tonight with you guys.
Is this your brother right here?
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
I'm a Cowboy fan, too, so you know what? We got to commiserate, my man. Well, right over here we have Lee Allerton, all the way from the Beehive State in Utah. Mr. Allerton, not only the only recipient coming from Utah, but he is also the only Gold Circle inductee this evening. Thank you for your years of service to journalism.
Okay, and over here we have the Eagles fans, just so you know.
Dagger through my heart.
Warren Trent, you have your welcome, and you have your mama and your aunt who came all the way across the country, as well as your son and your grandson and your daughter-in-law, and you know your whole family is here, and so I know this is really special to you. Yeah, welcome.
So and last but certainly not least, from my home state, listen, I have been so fortunate the last few years to welcome in pretty much our entire evening news team at KRQE News 13. Van Tate a couple years ago, Jessica Garate last year. It is about time we welcome Mr. Dean Staley to the Silver Circle.
I am the straggler, Chad. I am.
I think we are ready to get this party started. Yeah? Yeah? Let's do it!
All right.
All right. Well, welcome to the 2025 Gold and Silver Circle induction ceremony and dinner. Now, this whole evening dedicated to our amazing new class of honorees.
Yes, this is such a wonderful event. Hey, Chad, why don't you show them the plaque that they are going to get? It's heavy, and it's beautiful, and it's personally engraved for you. Inductees, you will also see a small plastic case at your table, and inside there is a magnetic pin, and that is yours. Wear it with pride.
Now, it shows that you are part of something special. This is a very competitive process to be selected for this honor, as I'm sure you all know. Well, serving as the chair over the Gold and Silver Circle Society is none other than Dr. John Kraft. He is a professor emeritus at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, and Dr. Kraft has been a board member, get this, for over 50 years.
Yes. And that's not all. He is such a unique leader. He is someone who has deservedly won all of the top honors in our chapter. He 3 years ago won the Governor's Award. He has earned the Silver Circle. He has earned the Gold Circle. What do you call that in acting, Chad, when they win 3 awards?
We call that a triple threat.
He's a triple threat.
He is a triple threat.
He's a triple threat. We would not be here tonight if it was not for him. So some of you aren't sure what this event is about. He's going to lay the groundwork for that. Please welcome Dr. John Kraft.
Thank you very much, Chad and Sue. It's great to see you all here tonight to celebrate the induction of 7 very deserving people into the Silver Circle, and one individual who has worked in television for more than 50 years into the Gold Circle. Now, some 30 years ago, Jan Jacobson, who was the newly elected president of our chapter, and I, who was past president, were having lunch. And we were discussing the leaders of the television stations in our market were very important and had been instrumental in founding this chapter back in the early 1960s. We thought that their work in television should be remembered. Out of those discussions came our Silver Circle, which recognizes the outstanding contributions to television in our region. Now, while we weren't the first chapter to have a Gold and Silver Circle, we certainly have been active honoring our outstanding broadcasters in the past in our region. We currently have 226 Silver Circle members, some of which are here tonight, and 21 Gold Circle members in our ranks, and we have some of those folks here tonight too. These members are really the best and the brightest examples of professional excellence. But more than that, they're the best of what human beings can bring to our profession and to their greater communities. The Rocky Mountain Southwest chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences has long had the privilege of honoring those who contributed to the betterment of the broadcasting profession. We celebrate those who have contributed at an outstanding level of service to the industry, to their peers, and to their community for 25 years with a place in the Silver Circle, and those with 50 years of service, induction into the Gold Circle. Now, as Chad has mentioned, this is a very competitive process. Each year, we put together a special Gold and Silver Selection Committee to evaluate all the peer-submitted nominations by carefully reading through all of this information and reviewing each and every one of the letters that we get. We're also very strict about vetting our committee members for any conflicts of interest that they might have. And of course, nobody who is nominated an individual serves on that committee in that year. Now, it's my honor tonight to welcome our 2025 inductees into our Gold and Silver Circle. Thank you very much, inductees, and thank you all for coming. So, our inductees, thank you.
Well, now I think we are ready to induct 7 new members into the Silver Circle.
It is the fun part now. So, inductees, here is how it's going to work. You will be introduced by someone who knows you well. They'll tee up your video. The video shows about your career and your accomplishments. As soon as that ends, make your way up to the stage, and we would love to hear you speak. And then you will be handed your plaque by the person who nominated you. So let's get this going.
That's right.
You ready? Jen, please come up, and Paul.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is exciting, the first one of the night. I'm Jennifer Jones, and this is Paul Horton. We're with Arizona's Family. It's an honor to introduce you to my friend, co-worker, and very deserving inductee, Nicole Kreitz.
We have been lucky enough to work with Nicole for the last 20 years. She's not only a great co-worker, but a dear friend to all of us. And Nicole started her career in Tucson, Arizona. Yes. Some pronounce it Tucson. But now she's our main anchor in the big city of Phoenix, Arizona. Take a look. Nicole's interest in journalism started out at a young age. In high school, she started out as an intern at KVOA in her hometown of Tucson. From that experience, she knew journalism was in her blood. She went on to intern for 48 hours in New York and got her first paid gig on the assignment desk and a part-time reporter back in Tucson.
I'm Nicole Acorn live. Stay tuned and I'll tell you how to turn cleaning your closet from a chore into a charity. It's a self-guided tour of 5 different private gardens around town, but experts say it will take at least 6 weeks to see that gas here in the States.
Her broadcasting skills blossomed. Nicole then got the morning anchor job in Spokane, Washington at KREM TV.
This is KREM 2 News, First Edition.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, September 9th. I'm Nicole Kreitz. This call center is the first place 911 calls come in. So information tonight on a wildfire last week in the Liberty Park area on Spokane's Lower South Hill.
She was there for a few years, then moved back to her home state of Arizona and became the morning anchor at CBS 5. It's been home ever since, and she's built a wonderful life here with her husband, Dave, and 2 kids, Callie and Caden.
Live, late-breaking, investigative. This is CBS 5 Morning News.
I'm Nicole Kreitz. Thanks for starting off your Thursday morning with us. Freeway is closed there, and the underpass is unpassable.
We'll have that for you coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Yeah, because the weekend's right around the corner. Thanks a lot, Paul. It is 6:01 in our top story right now. We're tracking the latest developments.
Now she's the main anchor for both Channel 3 and Channel 5 at Arizona's Family, working alongside her good friend Jared Dillingham.
You're watching Arizona's Family News at 10.
She has 4 rundowns open. She's finding a birthday card for a producer. She's taking calls from the kids. She's emailing a nonprofit she's hosting an event for this coming weekend. That is not an exaggeration. Nicole, we love you. We're proud of you. We're so happy and lucky to get to work with you. Congratulations on 25 years.
She's a fabulous journalist, but she also has this great personal quality, and it's so important. Nicole, congratulations on 25 years. I'll see you at 50.
To Nicole, I just want to say thank you for all the wonderful times. You know, it's amazing how much fun and mischief one can get into on live TV at 5:30 in the morning. Congratulations, and of course, we all love you.
Nicole, you are the most joyous person I know, and it's true. She carries joy with her wherever she goes, and that influences the newsroom tremendously.
You are just so professional. You are so smooth. You're the nicest. You deserve it. Congratulations. And thank you for being a friend.
She also has that wicked, mischievous sense of humor. She'll make you laugh in a soundbite. Congrats, Nicole. Love ya.
Nicole, welcome to the Old Folks Club.
But it's your dedication to journalism that is unmatched. And congratulations on this Silver Circle honor. It is well-deserved, my friend.
One of the things that I love about my relationship with Nicole is that we can talk about being moms. I cherish that relationship with you, Nicole. I'm so grateful that I've had the chance to work with you for more than a decade now. So congratulations. This is quite an honor and so well-deserved.
You're a great human. Detail-oriented. You never miss a birthday card, a Christmas gift, or just a special pick-me-up if someone needs that. So you are a great, great coworker. Congratulations. Well-deserved.
I'm so proud of you, and I wish we still worked together, but I have the next best thing. I get to work with this amazing guy.
Hey.
Love you, lady.
Love you.
Nicole, thank you so much for all of the leadership that you provide in our newsroom, everything that you do for us. This is such a well-deserved honor. Congratulations.
We love you. You're an amazing friend. You're an amazing wife, amazing mother.
I just wanted to say how proud I am to call you my mom and how lucky we are, and congratulations.
Hey, Mom, I'm super proud of you. We all are.
We love you.
Love you, babe. Mwah.
Wow. That was remarkable. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everyone who contributed to that video. My family, my friends who are here tonight, thank you so much. My sister's like, just breathe. I don't have a teleprompter, but I wish I had an IFB so they could give me time cues because I don't want to mess this up. Everyone with Rocky Mountain Natus, you know, Doug, I saw you work in the room this morning and you're, you know, here tonight on your special night. That's dedication. Thank you guys so much. To all the other inductees, congratulations, and it is an honor to be recognized with you tonight. Wow. 25 years, it doesn't seem possible. You know, I was thinking the other day how, like, wow, all of my sources are, like, aging out of the system. They're retiring. I don't feel that old. What? But I think it's just because I knew what I wanted to do since I was really, really young. Just ask my husband. I always say he's had me for a very long time, 33 years and 25 married next year. The only other thing I was certain in high school that I wanted in my future other than this man was this job. And I hate calling it a job. I always say hate is a strong word. I tell my kids that. But I hate calling it a job because I love what we do. I love what we do so much. I love the people we meet. I love telling their stories, how those stories can take you through every emotion, every possible walk of life. I love learning new things, helping people open doors of new understanding, even full paradigm shifts. I love getting to the bottom of finding answers, finding hope, figuring out things that just aren't right. And I love working with photographers and editors who consistently, exponentially elevate my storytelling with their sheer talent. My heart is full of so much gratitude tonight. It truly is. Gratitude to be able to do this for 25 years. Gratitude to work with the same amazing human beings. I love you guys, who at the same station for more than 20 years. Gratitude, my parents seeded such strong foundations and core principles of passion, purpose, and faith, giving us, all of us kids, roots and wings, is something that I hope to inspire in our kids. Now, a senior and a sophomore in high school, I'm so proud of the young adults you guys are already becoming. And they're trying to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their lives. And we talk a lot about finding your calling, leaning into your passion, into your purpose. I'm always humbled and so proud by their dad, now a lieutenant with Tempe Police, and my sister, Nurse Mary, she's here tonight. Both of their everyday interactions on their job instantly puts into perspective my worst day, what I think is my worst day, right? Sometimes when there is a bad day, we say, it's just news, to make sure we're not taking ourselves too seriously, right? Which I've never been accused of. Right, Paul? Never. It's just news. But there is some purpose to that, to reset, to refocus on the next story, because many times that story isn't ours to tell. It's someone else's everything. Someone who somehow set aside their grief, their humiliation, their anger, their embarrassment, their shame, and cut open their gut to trust us with their words. It's a lot. Their story. You just don't know who's going to be listening and who might need to hear that in the moment. How the telling of it helped heal them too. I profiled a family after they lost their son to an overdose, and they seemed like a picture-perfect family. Mom was an ER nurse, dad was a pharmacist. Their son had athletic and academic scholarships until someone at school gave him that first pill that erased everything. And a young woman reached out to me on Facebook and shared her own personal struggles, how she didn't even remember her 20s, how she was still struggling to find her way, how her church asked her not to come back after her last relapse. And I remember telling her, I go every Sunday in case you want somebody to just be there for you. What an unexpected friendship that was. She started going to weekly meetings, and the rest is her story to tell. But that was 8 years ago. I don't know what this industry is going to look like. In 10 years, it may change significantly in 5. I just hope us lifers, us lifers out there, will stay engaged and keep striving to make everything we touch on our watch every day a little better, choosing more thoughtful words, fewer words, more context, especially now when more people are content to live in an echo chamber amplifying intolerance. We have to keep pushing to listen, to seek out other voices. And yes, even other mediums and platforms. I know you've heard the pitch, right? Because we have to keep evolving to make sure that good storytelling, balanced current events, don't get lost in the white noise. It's already a challenge. I said fewer words. I just have so much passion because you guys, I really love what we do. It's been the honor of my life, and I cannot thank you enough for this remarkable honor. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Todd Martin with AC Family. We're thrilled to have a longtime executive producer who helped elevate Univision's broadcast in the Phoenix market as our next honoree. Patricio Gutierrez has an inspiring story of rising through the ranks. Let's take a look.
In 1985, Patricio arrived to the United States with a single goal: to learn the language. But what he found was more than words. It was a calling. Armed with a BA in communications from Grand Canyon University and the experience in Chilean television, Patricio joined Univision Arizona. In the newsroom, Patricio wasn't just an editor. He was a father figure to many. Steady, generous with his time, he nurtured young journalists, guided them through challenges, and helped shape not just their careers, but their character.
Any protesters want to come out.
He was known for his sharp editorial decisions, always rooted in the truth, compassion, and a deep respect for the people behind the headlines. Patricio's knowledge of Arizona's rich history and Latin American complex, often untold stories, made him a unique voice in the newsroom. He believed that understanding the past was essential to reporting the present.
¿Tienes alguna cosa pendiente?
His mission was clear: to serve and uplift the Hispanic community.
Tuve una carrera profesional, trabajé con el gobierno de los Estados Unidos.
The accolades followed: 3 Emmys, an Arizona AP award, among others. But Patricio's greatest reward? The journalists he mentored, the lives he helped change. Beyond the newsroom, Patricio's heart beat for culture. In 1995, he co-founded the Chilean Culture Center and Chile Canta y Baila, a folkloric group that brought rhythms of Chile to Arizona's stages. He didn't just preserve tradition, he shared it, celebrated it, and made it a bridge between worlds. Every evening, after long hours in the newsroom, Patricio changed into his dobak, not to rest, but to transform. He is a Taekwondo instructor, a champion, driven by the same discipline and focus that shaped his journalism career. For Patricio, Taekwondo is not just a sport, it's a way of life, a daily practice in resilience, humility, and self-mastery. As an instructor, he has mentored dozens, young and old, instilling confidence, strength, and mental clarity. Just like in a newsroom, he led with calm, strength, and purpose.
Te quedan 15-30 segundos extra.
In 2017, Patricio took a new challenge at Telemundo Arizona.
Pasar al segundo segmento.
As managing editor and executive producer, he elevated storytelling.
Suerte, Iván. Está un poco oscura la cara, protesta Los Ángeles. Suerte.
4, 3, 2, 1, open, stand by, Los Ángeles.
Empowered his team and led with vision. His leadership earned 4 Emmys and a Gabriel Award.
No tienes en vivo, ¿no?
But more than awards, it was the impact that mattered. For over 30 years, Patricio Gutierrez has been the quiet force behind the camera, uplifting, informing, and empowering his community. From Santiago to Arizona, from invisible to undeniable, Patricio's journey is far from over. His story is a testament to purpose, perseverance, and the power of one voice to change many lives.
Sorry, Nicole, I'm not like you. I cannot improvise. I have to write as a producer, executive producer. I have to have everything in writing. Good evening to everyone. Wow, what a moment. 40 years ago, I never imagined to this day to be standing here receiving this honor from the Rocky Mountain Southwest chapter and being welcomed into the Civil Circle Society. Moves me deeply. I'm profoundly grateful, and I share this recognition with everyone who has been part of this incredible journey. I offer thank you to my wife, Marianela, and my son, who are tonight with me here. To my sister and brother-in-law watching us from Chile throughout the online broadcast. For my friends and family here in Arizona. And of course, to my parents who are looking me down from above. I knew they are very proud. I made it up. I made it, Mom. To my co-workers and friends from Telemundo and Univision, especially my old friend, Gina Santiago, with whom we won one of the first Emmys in the Spanish television here in Arizona. We spent hours and hours doing some tape about ballet. And also to who walk alongside me this professional path, you're part of this achievement. I also want to congratulate my colleagues who today joined the Silver and Gold Circle. And what an honor is to share this moment with you. I mentioned 40 years. I'm old, don't worry about it. Because it was in 1985 when I made the most difficult decision of my life. To leave my homeland, my job, my everything familiar, to launch myself into an adventure and search for opportunity and purpose. I come from a long, very distant place. Some say it's at the end of the world. And they're not wrong. Between the mountains, the Andes Mountain, and the Pacific Oceans lies Chile. Coincidentally, this month, we celebrate Independence Day. So we still start celebrating. My journey started in 1977. A national television in Chile, first in the financial department and later in program and production. Maybe long before many of you have born. One piece of advice from my father was always stay with me when I started working. He told me, no matter what work you do, be the best. Whether you are picking up trash or behind the desk, be the best. With those words in my heart, I immigrated to the United States in 1985. I learned the language. I still continue. I graduated from Grand Canyon University in 1992, and the same year I started working at Univision. One of my favorite memories from Univision was when I was assigned by Tom Kioski to go with Gary Thomas to do a special reporting to a place called Miami. I said, Miami? Yes, you're going to Miami. Okay. I went night home. I prepared my bag. I prepared my passport, my documents, and everything. I was early in the station the next day, and I said, well, you're leaving now. Okay, which airline we're taking? Nope, we go in the car. You're going to Miami, Arizona. For somebody who was an immigrant, I didn't know that I was in Miami, Arizona. As I know, there's a Baghdad, Arizona, too. I spent almost 25 years in Univision, where I became executive producer. For the last 7 years, I served as a managing editor and executive producer at Telemundo, Arizona, And along the way, I was blessed to receive multiple awards: Emmys, Arizona, AP, APTRA, and Gabriel. But my path was not only behind the cameras or the newsroom. I also dedicated myself serving the community. I was a young minister at St. Anne Catholic Church in Gilbert, a proud co-founder, as you saw, of the Chile Cultural Center and the folkloric group. And to release my stress, as you saw in the video, I practiced Taekwondo. My wife said she doesn't need a black belt to beat me at home. And that's true. Over there, I learned all the part of the community. I'm an instructor and an actual world champ in Taekwondo and weapons. But truthfully, titles are not what matters the most. What I share deeply is having worked alongside with people committed to inform, empower, and uplifting communities, often behind the scenes without the spotlight. More than anything, I'm proud to have mentored and guided new generations of journalists. To all the reporters, anchors, photographers, and producers, I have worked for more than 30 years in Arizona. I have passed one bit of what my father said: talk to me, do everything with passion, perseverance, and respect, and above all, to always try to be the best in all you can do. Now it's time to pass the torch. As one of my executive producers said, now you need to face the monster you have created. And I hope truly that we'll see many more Hispanics and Latinos being honored here in the future. We have too many Hispanics and minorities that they need to deserve to be honored. Thank you for this honor. I will share it with my heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Carol Lind, and I'm here to introduce my good friend David Majure. David and I began working together at the turn of the century. And in that time, I've learned more about visual storytelling from him than I did in the previous 30 years. So it's not a surprise that he has received 26 regional Emmy Awards and numerous other national awards for his video production skills. David continues to elevate our industry, and he does this while also being one of the nicest guys in the business. Let's take a look.
As you can see, David was born a natural for television, and his communication skills got an early start when his parents, Bill and Carolyn, and sister Laura, relocated from Colorado to Arizona. Fast forward to 1984, when David began to pursue a degree in broadcasting from NAU. Obviously, he and his fellow students took their studies very seriously. However, during their internship at KNAU, he discovered his talent for storytelling, which led him to a job at Arizona PBS.
I'm sitting on the Arizona Horizon set where David Majure and I produced many great episodes of the show, and I've learned during that time that David Majure was the best producer I've ever worked with, and he definitely deserves to be in the Rocky Mountain Silver Circle. And on top of that, more importantly, he is a great guy.
After 12 successful years at PBS, David was tapped to lead the effort to create a state version of C-SPAN at the Arizona State Senate. Along with his colleague Jason Fitzpatrick and a handful of interns, they secured a dedicated cable channel for Arizona Capital Television, creating transparency in local politics like never before.
David was my predecessor and mentor at ACTV, and I couldn't think of a more deserving person for this honor. His work ethic, professionalism, and skill are truly an inspiration. But more importantly, he's been my friend for more than 20 years.
After another stint at AZPBS, David joined the video production team at Arizona Game and Fish, where they produce the TV series Arizona Wildlife Views.
Dave does incredible work. He will climb canyon walls to get the shots he needs. He will go snorkeling with biologists to get footage of biologists and fish underwater. He will go shooting out in a snowstorm or go chasing after wolves, pronghorn to get the shots he needs. I look at his final pieces and I think, this is beautiful. This is incredible. I would love to go out there and visit these places for myself. I also think, damn, I need to up my game or else the rest of the show is going to look like crap.
David also runs his own production company, Majure Motion Pictures, which allows him to work on a wide array of projects that are close to his heart. He was recently honored by ALS Arizona with their Hope Award. Here's a clip from their presentation.
David Majure has been our storyteller, our witness, and our voice. Through countless hours of donated time and immeasurable talent, he has documented our journey with a rare combination of technical mastery and profound humanity.
David and his college sweetheart Lauren and their two boys Sean and Hayden live in the Valley and are avid followers of local bands. So much so that he often produces music videos for them for next to nothing.
And we just wanted to say congratulations to you, David Majure, on this great award that you're receiving. You've been nothing but good to us and a huge part of our success. And not only being the most handsome director we've ever worked with, you are so talented, and we can't thank you enough for being a part of us and our band. And the best of luck, and we love you, and congratulations.
I have no doubt that it was my eloquent letter of support for your nomination that was the clincher, but your lifetime of work speaks for itself. Dave, congratulations, and love you, buddy.
Congratulations, Dave. It's been an honor to work side by side with you for all these years. Congratulations on your Silver Circle.
Oh, this is exciting and very, very scary. Public speaking is not my thing. Apparently this is being recorded, so unfortunately there will be a public record. I don't believe that was the case the first time I spoke at a Natus event years ago, thank God, because that is a speech I would rather forget. So let me try to get through this one without messing up too badly. I am truly honored to join the Silver Circle, to be included in this group with so many of my friends and former colleagues, not to mention all the broadcast legends I grew up watching on TV. It really is just mind-blowing. Thank you. I'm losing my voice already. Thank you to the Gold and Silver Circle Selection Committee led by Dr. John Kraft, and to the Natus Rocky Mountain Southwest Chapter staff and Board of Governors for bringing me into this special club. I'm very, very grateful to my friend Carol Lind. I'm a member of the Gold Circle, by the way, for nominating me and doing all the work that entails, including that terrific video we just saw. Thank you to everyone who helped Carol with that process, my friends from Channel 8 and fellow Silver Circle members, John Booth and Mike Sauceda, my friend and co-worker for 36 years at Channel 8 and now Game and Fish, Ben Avachuco. Jason Fitzpatrick, my friend and colleague at Arizona Capitol Television. He kept me sane in state politics during some fairly trying times, and more importantly, he expanded my taste in music, so thank you, Jason. And I'd like to really thank Angie Tigas and everyone at ALS Arizona for all that they do to help people with Lou Gehrig's disease live their best lives. And to my rock star friend, Josh Kennedy of the Black Moods. I could write chapters about how each of you have made me a better person and so much better at my job. I also want to take a quick moment to thank my professors at NAU, Dale Hoskins, Martin Summerness, and Hal Hickman, my news director at KNAU Radio, my very first broadcasting job. Matt Markiewicz gave me the freedom to find my way as a storyteller. Arizona PBS for hiring me to produce the public affairs show Horizon right out of college. There I worked with and learned from so many talented people, including Richard Torellis, Scott Olson, Ben Abachuco, John Booth, and again Carol Lind, who many, many years later convinced me to make the move to move to Game and Fish, which, thank you, Carol. So much fun. I got so many wonderful memories. Driving Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor in my rickety old car back to her house after an appearance on Horizon. Sitting in Barry Goldwater's home office as he talked about his childhood and soaping up his butt so he could fly down the water slide at Riverside Park. I survived a dark and stormy night on a tiny little boat in the middle of Lake Powell. Ben Abachuco remembers that one. Got to write a speech that Hugh Downs delivered to the state legislature. And I've enjoyed countless wildlife adventures with all of the good people at Game and Fish and in every beautiful corner of this amazing state. I've had so much fun. I absolutely love what I do, and I love and adore the people I get to do it with. Despite my aversion to public speaking, I really am thankful for this opportunity because, quite frankly, I blew it last time. It was the mid-90s. I won my first Emmy. I got up, said some stuff, sat down, and it's all a blur to me, but not my wife. She enjoys reminding me from time to time. By the way, she enjoys, for the past 30 years, that night has haunted me for what I said because it was embarrassingly dorky, but mostly for what I didn't say. I forgot to thank my wife. I know. By the way, it wasn't long after that the Emmys stopped allowing people to speak after they got an award. And I've always kind of thought that maybe I had something to do with that. I don't know. So tonight I get a do-over. And I want to thank my best friend, the love of my life, and the funniest person I know, my beautiful wife of 34 years, Lauren Majure. I'd ask her to stand, but she recently broke her ankle, so she's got the little scooter thing going over there. When our boys, Hayden and Sean, were young, she did most of the parenting, while I was putting in long days at work trying to prove myself in this business. Lauren, I don't know if I could have done it without you, but I do know I wouldn't have wanted to. I love you. Finally, I want to thank my mom and dad for teaching me to think for myself, to be honest, and to be kind. I wish they were still alive. Lost my mom in April. She was always my biggest fan, and she would have absolutely loved this. So that's it. Before this goes off the rails, I'm going to stop there. Again, thank you so much for inducting me into the Silver Circle, and congratulations to all the other inductees. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mal Winges. I have the pleasure tonight to introduce my best friend, Doug Mummert, who I have known for 25 years, so it's very ironic. Anyway, Doug is no newcomer to our broadcast business. Doug served 6 years as president of this chapter, and he was also the creator of our Rocky Mountain Foundation. In addition to that, Doug also had a distinguished career with the Phoenix Fire Department. So why don't we take a look now at Doug's career? Thank you.
Doug Mummert, Beyond the Flames. Born under the bright lights of Hollywood, California, Doug Mummert's story begins far from the flames that would one day define him. Raised in a time of change, in a generation that believed in service, he chose a path few dare to take. From the discipline of a U.S. military tour in the United States Air Force, Doug learned resilience, honor, and the calm needed in the storm. And when he returned home, he brought that discipline back to the streets of Phoenix, Arizona, joining a brotherhood and sisterhood that runs toward danger when others run away. For decades, Doug rose through the ranks of the Phoenix Fire Department, from rookie firefighter to chief officer, on the front lines of structure fires, medical emergencies, wildland fires, national disasters, and yes, even rescued a few cats along the way. He stood as a founding member of FEMA's Urban Search and Rescue Team, Arizona Task Force 1, ready at a moment's notice to answer the call, anywhere, anytime. But leadership wasn't just about command, it was about connection. Doug became a voice for public safety as a public information officer for the Phoenix Fire Department and FEMA, translating chaos into calm and urgency into action, responding to critical incidents, assisting incident commanders and the media to keep the public informed on what happened and why. The goal was to prevent or reduce similar tragedies in the future. This included many behind-the-scene tours for the media and stakeholders, as well as interviews and media releases. He learned this part of his craft from the best and always took the opportunity to pay it forward and mentor others along the way. And then the cameras rolled. A new chapter began. Producing award-winning programs like Phoenix Fireworks, Doug used television, radio, and the printed word, not for fame, but to educate, inform, and save lives. Working with dignitaries like President Clinton, Debbie Reynolds, George Kennedy, Tony Hawk, many elected officials and both local and national media personalities, he and his team brought the message of safety and service to millions. In the halls of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Doug's leadership helped shape the very future of broadcast storytelling. As governor, trustee, chapter president, foundation chairman, and mentor, he stood for excellence and for the next generation of communicators, all the while making the historical preservation of the organization's storied past a priority. Beyond the cameras, Doug's heart has always been with his community, leading the Phoenix Fire Foundation, serving with Arizona Search Dogs, and championing causes that make life safer, kinder, and better for everyone. From the fire ground, to the studio, to the boardroom. Doug Mummert has spent a lifetime lifting others, protecting what matters, and turning every challenge into a story of hope. We honor a man who has given his life to service, to philanthropy, and to the belief that one person can make a difference, with the help, love, and support of colleagues, friends, and family, of course.
Hello, everyone. So I carry a little piece of paper. Back in the day, it was a card. It was an incident card. And when I met a lot of you in this room, I'd show up at terrible tragedies, or maybe it was a happy special event, a grand opening of a fire station or community center, something of that nature. But I was never really good at teleprompters or prepared speeches or anything like that, because I was a public information officer. We found out about it, we went to the call, We got a briefing from the incident commanders and then wrote a few things down, this is what happened. And we wouldn't have this on camera, but tonight I will just to. I'm a little rusty now. So I'd like to thank you, Mal, for Mal's one of my best friends, like he said, and a true mentor. Mal, he's very humble man. He's here with his wife, Noreen. He's the chairman emeritus of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. He was in New York for many years, which is where the headquarters is, and he was very instrumental in a lot of things that led up to events like this tonight. So thank you, Mal. And actually, I'd like to congratulate all the inductees tonight that are here presently. I got to know many of you over the years, and I'm glad to see my new classmates that are here tonight, and congratulations. And also the past inductees, because many of the people in this room and the people you saw earlier on camera are some of those past inductees, and many of you have mentioned them up here at the podium. So I'm humbled and honored to be part of this organization because I wasn't really a television person. I wasn't a television professional like a lot of people in here, but it was John Kraft, Dr. Kraft mentioned Jan Jacobson, who was the president at the time. She called me, or didn't call me, she sent me a letter back in the mid-90s, and I was the PIO for the fire department, and I was in charge of the television operation there. And I got a letter and it said, "You'd be the perfect fit to come help us judge community service entries for the Emmy Awards." And so I'm like, okay, if you say so. So I show up at Channel 12, and we judged these awards, and it was a very fulfilling proposition and experience. And then it was months later that I got a call, and somebody said, "Would you be interested in running for our board?" And I'm like, a fireman? You want a firefighter running for your board? And I go, okay. I'm like the video said, I don't run away from danger, but I should have maybe run away from that. So, I'm like, okay. So I stumble in there, and back in those days, it was around 2000, they used to vote at the Emmy Awards. They had a ballot box, it was old school. And at the end of it, they go, "Oh, you're elected." And I'm like, "Oh, no, now what do I do?" So I got to meet a lot of the great people in this room, and I really want to thank I've always wanted to say this because I never could say it because we don't have the speeches now, thanks to our friend over there. I always wanted to say I'd like to thank the Academy. Well, now I have the podium for a minute, so I'd like to thank the Academy. But I'd also like to thank all of you, and many people have thanked the Academy so far, but it's the membership, it's the officers, it's the board, it's the committees, and it's the people we have like Chad and Sue that are here tonight doing this work, and all the people that have done all this work. It doesn't happen just like that. I'm sure many of you have been to the local Emmy Awards, and I think I'm getting to the end of it, so you'll be happy about that. I already told you the lottery joke. If you win the lottery, don't forget about me. And that's really about it. The staff that works at this venue are awesome, and we'll have the Emmy Awards here in just a few weeks right at this location. So I'll give a plug for Jessica and the rest of the folks at the home office to get your tickets if it's not too late. You have to go on the website, RockyMountainEmmys.org, and I'll give one final push and commercial for our foundation. We do have a charitable foundation. You can find it on our website, and go there and check it out. Maybe you'll want to make a donation. But I'd like to thank all my friends and family and loved ones. They're sitting at table 4 and table 8. They're really all the same thing. My friends, family, and loved ones, it's the same group. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of special people with Natus. We have Laura Gates sitting right there, and she used to be our executive director of the chapter while the majority of my presidency. And she is now, get this, she is the chief of staff for the National Office of the Emmy Awards. So She's a good person to know. And she's sitting next to Sean, her husband, who is a game and fish aficionado. That's kind of a joke. But he's got the beard of knowledge now. And everybody's favorite television agent, Micah, and his lovely daughter. And then all my friends and family, and Mal and Noreen are there. So thanks. I've talked enough. Have a good night.
How's the food? Good, good. Great. All right, yeah. Let's give a, Doug had mentioned the staff here at Chateau Luxe, and they are fantastic. They have been so great to work with year in and year out, so big round of applause to them. All right, well, we would like to now welcome all returning Gold and Silver Circle members. We are so pleased that you could join us this evening to celebrate our new inductees.
Because you were the giants that set the standard, really, for excellence before this class of 2025 honorees. You are a big deal, too. And so we recognize and we celebrate all of your contributions to the broadcast industry. Take a look. Will all the previous inductees please stand at this time so we can give you a round of applause.
We want to thank you for your many years of outstanding service. We hope that you all have a wonderful time this evening visiting and reminiscing with your fellow members.
And hey, now let's continue inducting more Silver Circle honorees.
Hi, everybody. How you doing tonight? I'm Heidi Goitia from ABC 15 here in Phoenix. The Valley, as many of you know, we have no shortage of great sporting events, everything from all levels, including professional sports, a lot of professional sports, and Richard Sines has seen them all.
And I'm Mark Mallarich from Fox 10, and some of you know me as Mally, but I've been working alongside Richard since the day he arrived in Phoenix, and now I'm proud to welcome him to the Silver Circle. This video will show you why he's more than just a co-worker, he's family.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of Fox 10 Investigates. I'm Justin Lum. Tonight we dive into the curious case of local sports reporter Richard Sines, not to be confused with Arizona Diamondbacks, Spanish radio analyst Richard Sines, or former Houston Oilers player Richard Sines.
James Logan, Joe Bowden, some weird name, Richard Sines. Richard Sines? I'm Richard Sines.
Richard Sines, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Starting out, it was clear to see Richard had a passion for covering sports, doing whatever it took to tell a good story. And while his early on-air look may seem funny now, his future in this business would prove to be no laughing matter. But seriously, how do you go from this,
Richard Signs, News West 9 Sports,
to Phoenix New Times Best Dressed Sportscaster? The transformation began in 2003 when Richard got the call he'd be leaving El Paso and the mustache behind to cover big league sports in Phoenix, Arizona.
And after covering UTEP and New Mexico State, I said, now I want to cover the pros. So I kept going west, and I ended up here in Phoenix.
Once in the Valley, Richard hit the ground running, learning the ropes from another Silver Circle member in Jude LaCava, and being teamed up with outstanding sports photographer Brad Gass and producer Mark Malerich. Together, Richard welcomed Phoenix to his unique style of storytelling, all the while telling himself to follow his own advice of dreaming big as he grew in this market.
Chase your dream is what I have to say. And just give it all you got, and don't let other people, discourage you. If this is what you really want to do, then do it.
And boy, did he do it. Over the last 20-plus seasons, Richard has covered it all and in a style all his own.
I'm not sure when I'll be ready, but are you kidding me? I've been up all night. I don't think I've slept at all. It's draft day. We got it right here on Fox.
But it wasn't always fun and games. There was a service side, too. Having realized his own dreams, it was important for Richard to help those in need reach theirs.
And away we go.
Helping Secret Santa make the holidays a little easier for those in need, and doing it so many times, he was made an honorary elf.
Richard, after countless years of coming with us, we'd like to welcome you, and you are now one of the Phoenix elves.
Thank you so much. How's it look? I'm official.
But if you ask anyone who's ever watched Richard over the last 20-plus years in the Valley, they will all point to his humor and ability to not take himself too serious.
You couldn't have dunked on a 7-foot rim at any point in your life.
I done donuts, that's what I do.
I mean, what other sports anchor would buy a beat-up RV to do interviews with local celebrities during the week of the Super Bowl?
I've got a 1999 Rexall V25.
Let me.
Yeah, so this is it right here. What do you guys think? You can swipe to the right if you want to.
Swiping right, baby.
I got it at an estate sale, so it lives on.
Oh, nice. This is gorgeous.
Rolling with Richard. Attaboy.
Welcome to the tailgate. What do you think? Welcome to 1999.
That I was going to say. Maybe 99, maybe 98.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
No, it looks good. The curtains, they look like they were pulled out of a fire. All that. Other than that, everything else is good.
I mean, that sign is amazing. For anything, we got that. Look at that face. That face looks like I just got shafted on a deal.
For Richard, the job has always been about the people and building relationships. A selfless person who wants everyone to succeed, helping mentor the next generation of sports reporters. He is one of one, or as the kids say today, he is him. And now everyone knows it.
Thanks so much, Richard.
Thank
you. Congratulations on the Silver Circle.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
That's a huge honor for you.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations, Richard, and welcome to the Silver Circle.
Wow, that was an awesome video. I had no idea they made that video. Great job, Justin Lum. And I just want to thank, the Rocky Mountain Emmy Association for putting on this event. Great night. Jessica O'Toole putting up with me the whole time and coordinate everything. And I also would like to ask all of you to give a big round of applause for all the inductees for tonight. Because when you think about it, I mean, we are survivors. I mean, right, Nicole? I mean, when we got in this business, we didn't even have the internet, right? We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have GPS. We didn't have Facebook. We had the phone book, And I use mine every day. I would sit on it so I could look taller on the anchor desk. When you're 5'6½", you got to get, all the help you can get. But I'm standing tall tonight because I am in the Silver Circle. I really can't believe it. It's funny, I have to go back to let you know how and why I can't believe it. When I was told I was in the Silver Circle, I didn't believe it. We have to rewind to 1998 when I was in El Paso, the D-backs become a franchise, right? And the AA affiliate was the El Paso Diablos. So I'm in El Paso. They bring the D-backs to El Paso to drum up excitement for the new franchise, right? Buck Showalter, a former New York Yankee, is the manager of the Diamondbacks. Everybody's excited and kind of intimidated. I said, you know what, I'm going to go up to him. Just say, what's up? So I go, hey, Skip, I'm Richard Saenz. And he looks at me up and down and he goes, Richard Saenz? He goes, no, you're not. Because he knew the Richard Saenz you saw in the video, that's the Spanish play-by-play guy for the Diamondbacks that I had no idea about. I just said, I'll be whoever you say I am, but can I have the interview? He gave me the interview, and then, when I got here, I went and found Richard Saenz with the Diamondbacks, and I told him, you're the real Richard Saenz. I just play one on TV, So then you fast forward to a couple months ago when Justin Lum, Mark Malrich, Brad Gass, Corey Goodwin are saying, hey, congratulations, you're in the Silver Circle. And I'm like, thinking to myself, oh my God, they're going to be so disappointed when they realize it's the other Richard Saenz and not me, But little did I know, those sneaky suckers at the Fox 10 table over there are the reason why I'm up here. Justin Lum, as you know, nominated me. Mally, Corey, and Brad all wrote letters on my behalf. I just want to say thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Justin, you are proof that iron sharpens iron. You're so good at what you do. It makes me better, makes me step up my game. Corey, Corey's an FOS, friend of sports, right? We bring him in, the World Series, Super Bowl, Secret Santa. And it's funny because I work so hard and such long hours. I don't even realize it because I'm having such a great time. And he's so talented and such a great person. Corey, thank you so much for everything. Brad Gass, he's been with me since day one. I always tell people I'm not married because I got Brad to boss me around. He says, stand here, stand over there, face the sun, talk, shut up, rap, So, Brad's the guy that, been with for 20 years, right? I get in the car and I look back at my coat and I go, damn it. And he goes, what? I go, I forgot my tie. And he goes, you're wearing it. And I go, oh, yeah. Thanks, Brad. We finish each other's sentences. We're like a married couple, right? So, Brad, I don't know what I would do without you, and I don't want to find out, right? And then Mark Malrich, who put this video together. If you think that was good, just watch the open he did for Sports Night on Sunday. Mal's been with me since day one, since the first day. We were on weekends together. Now we're on weeknights together. And Mally, you've been a great friend, a great producer. You've given me unconditional love like nobody else. You've made me shine and never asked for anything in return. And I appreciate you. It's a great, great guy. And all of those guys at the Fox 10 table should be in the Silver Circle one day, except for Justin Lum. He's going to go network and, big time us. So I'm starting a GoFundMe account to kind of get him to stay here to afford him. For the Gold Circle members, a GoFundMe account is like a layaway plan where people you don't know pay for it and then add money to it. It's a great, scam if you can get it to work, But speaking of work, I want to thank people that I've worked with. I want to thank Doug Bannard, Sandra Coates and Bosses for hiring me, Neil Wolf and Steve Levi and Michael Lewis for keeping me, other photographers like, Rick Davis, Jeff Lake, a producer, Eric Corrales. And of course, as you guys saw in the video, I got to thank Jude LaCava. He was my mentor. He was a great guy. He really, really helped me get to where I am today. Everybody, Brad knows a lot of people would confuse us, and they would always say, hey, you're Jude LaCava, and I was at a Cardinal game, and some guy comes up, he goes, Jude LaCava. And I go, no, man, I'm Richard. Normally I would say, hey, I'm the Mexican guy, he's the Italian guy. But this time, I don't know why, I said, oh, I'm Richard. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I know my name, And he goes, Richard LaCava. And I'm like, oh, my God. And then his buddy walks up. He goes, no, man, that's Richard Saenz. And I go, thank you, sir. And he goes, yeah, I was in prison for 7 years. I watched you every day. I'm like, I hope that wasn't his punishment. Like, you were going to be forced to watch Richard Saenz. But he was a great mentor. And that's the great thing about the Rocky Mountain, Emmy Association is they encourage that, right? Commitment to the community and giving back. And I really appreciate that because that's near and dear to my heart. I love being a mentor. I love helping kids because I tell myself, if I can help them experience the joy that I've experienced in this job, boy, that would be great, right? So I'm part of the mentorship program with Arizona State. I get paired up with an incoming freshman every year because that's the highest dropout rate. They're away from home. They got roommates. So I always have them shadow me for a day. And I had one kid, I took him to a Suns game we had the access, we had the free food, and we, this and that. And he was like, I could see his wheels were turning. And he wanted to ask me a question. I go, you got a question? He goes, no. And I go, no, dude, like, this is what it's for. Like, what do you got? And he goes, okay, so you come to all the games for free? And I go, no, they pay me. It's a double whammy. So needless to say, you didn't drop out, right? But, I'm almost done. I know I'm going over my time, Nicole. No prompter, no IFB. We're going to be like weather people. We're going to go over, the happens, whatever. But, I want to thank, my family, because a lot of you may not know, my parents got divorced when I was 2. And my mom did a great job. She's 90. She's here. She could have drove here. She could have drove here if she wanted to. And Patricio, I apologize to your wife, but she was so disappointed when she found out you were married. During when they showed you doing Taekwondo, she was, is he married? And I go, I don't know. And he said, you mentioned your wife. She goes, we were doing so well. But my siblings, they helped my mom raise me because I'm the youngest. And I idolized them all. And I want to start with the oldest, the firstborn, Sandra. I remember I was in 7th grade. She came into my room playing video games. She goes, you going to graduate from college? I'm like, sure, yeah, whatever. She walks out, comes back 10 minutes later with a contract. And says, Richard Sines said you're going to graduate. And she held me to it. And that kind of accountability, that belief, Sandra, meant so much to me. I love you and I appreciate you. I want to mention, I didn't bring notes, I brought tissue. Up next is my brother, my big brother. Bro, you've had my back since day one. And I got you. I know you suffered through a lot, so I wouldn't have to suffer, and I appreciate you. And I'll always have your back. And I want to thank you for being the man of the house when nobody else wanted to be. Like you said, when you saw me on the billboard, he goes, you made it? And I go, no, we've made it. We're in the silver circle now. Up next is my sister Patsy, the closest to me in age. And she was the one that, I'd be practicing, being a sportscaster. I'd get my football cards out, Cowboys, Eagles, I'd get the cards out, volume down, doing the play-by-play by myself. And my sister would be getting ready to go out on a date. She'd be looking for her brush. She'd come into my room and take my microphone, which was her brush. And she'd be like, you're a dork, But Patsy, you and Anthony, who's here, was like a son to me. I love you, Anthony. You guys were always the first ones that would come visit me every market, Midland, Odessa, El Paso. And then here, you guys were always the first ones, and that meant the world to me. Your support meant the world to me. She's also my fashion consultant, so I want best dressed. It's really for her. She picks out my tie for every Super Bowl that I cover. And Patsy, I love you, and thank you. I also want to thank my father, who can't be here, but he's back in Texas. And I remember he told me, I asked him, because he was the best. He was number one in the insurance business all the time. And I asked him, what did it take to be number one? And he goes, once you're willing to put forth the effort to become number one, you've eliminated over half your competition. And he was so right. And he instilled a work ethic in me that I have to this day. And of course, I want to finish, like I said, with my mom, who's 90, Oralia Sines Frias, a.k.a. Lala. Like I said, she's 90 years old, could have drove here if she wanted to. She still drives. Her license plate is Lala 87. She goes, why'd you put 87? Because she was 87 at the time. And I go, because I want people to know 87-year-old drivers come and get the hell out of the way. Well, Mom, I just want to thank you for believing in me before I believed in myself. Every day when I was a kid, my mom would be like, you're so handsome, you're so smart, you look like $1 million, you look like Al Pacino, you're the best. I mean, like every day. And then all of a sudden when I'm a teenager, I'll start to believe that stuff. So I was like walking outside like, look out world, here I come. And so, Mom, I love you. I wouldn't be the man who I am today without you. I wouldn't be up here without you. You sparked something in me that's still raging fire to this day. And like I told you, I was in the sixth grade. Times were tough. I wrote you that letter. I said, don't worry, Mom. everything's going to be okay. I'll take care of you. And look at us now, in the Silver Circle, even if I still don't believe it. Thank you.
Well, we recognized outstanding individuals from all areas of the Rocky Mountain Southwest region. That is why I am very excited to introduce you to one of my heroes in journalism, Mr. Dean Staley. He is our evening anchor, along with Jessica Garate, and a special assignment reporter at KRQE News 13 in Fox, New Mexico in Albuquerque. Dean, you are a leader. Yeah, claps, good claps. You are a leader in our newsroom as well as our community. His humility and his diehard commitment to the tenets of journalism inspire every single person around him. So take a look at this video. You'll see the passion I'm talking about.
Dean Staley's path in journalism has been anything but ordinary.
Dean Staley, Action 7 News.
After earning dual degrees from Boston University in broadcast journalism and political science, he took an unconventional detour. He joined the Peace Corps and spent 2 years in Paraguay teaching beekeeping and soil conservation. The experience deepened his worldview and sharpened the empathy that continues to guide his reporting today.
He's a curious person, and he likes to figure out how things work and how things are connected. And on top of that, he's a great storyteller.
It is also one of the most physically demanding.
I think what's always struck me about Dean is what a naturally inquisitive person he is. And not just if he's working on a story, but around the newsroom, wanting to know about his coworkers, seeing a new face across the Thanksgiving dinner table. And he wants to know what that person's all about. And he has this really both charming and disarming way of asking questions of people just in very casual contexts that really makes you feel like you're the most important person in the room.
So if gambling is your fancy...
Dean began his broadcast career in Bullhead City and Flagstaff, Arizona, before moving on to Tampa, Florida.
This is right near where the eye of the hurricane passed through, and you can see what she left behind.
I was the primary anchor there, and he came as a general assignment reporter, and immediately made me nervous because this is the kind of guy that takes your job, you know, because he's just so good at what he does.
Live from KSTP-TV. His trajectory then carried him north to Minneapolis.
Good evening, I'm Dean Staley.
Where he anchored weekends for KSTP-TV. It was there he took one of the most challenging assignments of his career, embedding with the U.S. Army's 101st Airborne Division for 3 months in Iraq.
Some tense moments earlier today when one of the troops here at Camp Thunder found a coffee tin filled with hand grenades.
His reporting offered viewers a rare and intimate look at the realities of war.
Here are some of the stories we are following this morning.
His career also took him to ABC News in Atlanta as a correspondent.
We got a news guy riding with us. Oh, I'm serious. Ask him. Yeah, this is Dean Staley with King 5 News.
And later to Seattle, where he anchored and reported for King 5 News. Despite his national and international assignments, Dean felt the pull of home.
Good afternoon.
2 decades into his career, he returned to Albuquerque, reconnecting with the community where his journey began.
He relates, I think, to people a sense of, you know, I trust that guy. He's real. He knows his stuff. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud that he followed me into being the evening anchor at Channel 13.
Along the way, Dean's work has been recognized with 14 Emmy Awards and 3 Edward R. Murrow Awards, testaments to his commitment to excellence in journalism.
He truly is a treasure in our newsroom. He's a treasure for our state. He's one of the most gifted storytellers I've ever met, one of the best writers. And he's truly just everything you could possibly want in a primary anchor.
Dean is also deeply committed to helping make New Mexico a better place. Whether it's giving kids new shoes
as I went down
or volunteering each year to raise money for a Catholic school.
One of the sayings of the Franciscans is that when you go out to preach, use as few words as possible. And Dean is able to do that. He doesn't have to say much, and when he says it, we listen. But it's by his example that we have heard it.
But for all the recognition and accomplishments, his greatest role is off camera, being a husband to Terry and a father to Ella, Kennedy, and Owen. Congratulations, Dean, and thank you for your outstanding contributions to journalism.
I was having a pretty good night until I realized I had to follow Richard's signs. I'm just recovering from that. My first thank you goes to one of my favorite people and our host tonight, Chad, wonderful human being. Chad and my co-anchor, Jessica Gaudete, back in Albuquerque, two of the finest reporters, the finest anchors, the finest writers, the finest journalists you'll ever meet, and we're so lucky to have them. They're two of the pillars that hold up the temple that is our newsroom in Albuquerque. So thank you. Obviously, I'd like to thank the Academy to be in a room with people like Patricio and David and Nicole and Chad and Richard. I feel like I'm with my tribe tonight, which is special. So beyond just thanking the Academy, I'd like to point out just the incredible work they do. I don't think you have an energized, successful broadcast television industry without an organization like the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and of course, our chapter, the Rocky Mountain Southwest chapter. There's just so much hard work that goes into it day in and day out, celebrating the best of what we do and holding that up and shining a light on it and having other people aspire to that level of journalism and storytelling. So I just want to thank our chapter, our home, so much. Thank you. I also want to thank all of the people over the course of my career who have shared their stories with me and allowed me to share those stories with our audience. I mean, Nicole was talking a little bit about this. I've told more than 5,000 stories as a reporter that aired in newscasts, and the best among them always involved people sharing personal stories. And these are people, who are in deep pain sometimes because they've suffered a loss, or they're suffering from illness, or they're going through some other complication. And despite their own pain, they have this big-heartedness and this generosity of letting me hear their story and letting me share that with our audience. It's powerful. And if you do a good enough job with that story, of course, as we all know, someone in the community who they thought, oh, I thought I was alone. I thought I was the only one experiencing that. And then they see this story and they say, oh, I'm not alone. That's happening to someone else. And there's a community that gets built, and there's a powerful human connection that gets made. Or, as we all know, sometimes lawmakers will see your story, and if it's influential enough, they'll say, oh, that's wrong. We have to change that. We have to write a new law, which I know people in this room have done that. I've had that kind of success. So I want to thank those people because none of that happens without people sharing their stories. My biggest thank you of the night goes to my wife, Terry. And my children, Ella, Kennedy, Owen. I spent a lot of years in the early part of my career in Flagstaff and Bullhead City and Abilene, Texas, different places, working really hard at my job and trying to get better and trying to learn from the people around me and just pouring myself into my work. And there's no question, my job at that time was the most important thing in my life. And it wasn't until I met Terry that, like, almost overnight, right? You meet this woman and you start a family. And so, like, overnight, it becomes like the second most important thing. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, so thank you guys. I don't have a lot of wisdom. You think in 34 years of doing this, I'd have some wisdom to share. I don't have any real wisdom tonight. I go to work, I do my best, I learn from the people around me. I continue to learn things at work, which is the fun of being a journalist, right? We're always finding out about new things in the world, and that's exciting. But I do have this encouragement, and that is, we're living at a time when newsrooms are stretched. They're stretched thin, and there are fewer people doing more and more jobs. And these people aren't being paid, any of them, what they're worth right now. It's a strange time. And there are fewer and fewer of those pillars holding up the temple that is the newsroom, right? People retire, people go on somewhere else to make more money. And then outside the newsroom, it's even worse. You've got literally millions of people who are content creators on social media. And they're good at what they do. They're great at, putting together little clips and distracting you for 10 or 15 or 20 seconds at a time. So we have all this competition who are competing for our audience. And I think there's a temptation sometimes to try to make what we do more like what they do. The temptation is to try to make what we're doing, because they're having success and they're making money, and they have an audience. So there's a temptation to make what we do look and sound and feel more like what they do. And my counsel tonight would be, let's do the opposite. Let's continue to do what we do well. Check the facts. Tell stories that have depth, right? When someone can walk up to a scene with a phone and live stream whatever that crime scene is and start conjecturing and spreading rumors about what they're seeing, it has never been more important to have real journos show up to that scene and get the facts right and the sourcing right. And to find that human story that's in front of them, and to find that story and to tell it responsibly and with compassion and in a way that's compelling. So that's my counsel. Let's do that, and let's aspire to the highest level of storytelling. Because the social media stuff is going to change 6 months from now, a decade from now, who knows. But as long as we continue to do what we do and do it well, and aspire to the highest level of journalism and storytelling, our stories will always resonate with our audience, and we will continue to make these powerful human connections in our communities. Thank you very much. Yeah.
It is now our honor to introduce you to Warren Trent.
He's an example of someone who successfully transitioned outside of a great career in news and broadcasting into government communications role. His legacy is rooted in integrity, storytelling, mentorship, and service. And as someone following in his footsteps, not only am I proud to call him, one of the best in the biz and a mentor, I get to call him Dad.
Talked to a lot of people who worked with him. They say that he was underutilized, underappreciated, underpaid, but you never could tell by talking to him.
He was just someone you could depend on professionally and personally, and that's what I always appreciated about Warren.
Thank you. Warren, I believe, started out as a sound technician. I recall he and I working the overnight shift together.
Warren was like a bright spot in the newsroom.
He was able to help the newsroom kind of go, oh, this is what's happening on that side of the country. Oh, this is what's happening. Okay, we can formulate something.
Having someone like Warren in your building just makes it a better place for not only a newsroom, but for your community and how news gets covered.
He was very detailed on his research when he comes to putting things together.
He understands and knows from the aspect of how to tell a story, like what needs to actually resonate with people.
If a member wanted to take advantage of Warren's expertise, there's not a person in this city that he doesn't know.
So Warren has always been about his community. It doesn't matter if he's in Philadelphia or Jackson, Mississippi or Phoenix, Arizona. He's always been about his community.
The value in Warren being in a newsroom, especially one like Arizona, was pushing different perspectives. It was very valuable while he was here.
Our homeowners were told, well, they would save lots of money. Well, we were able to help them out in a very big way.
He wasn't just a boss. He was a mentor, trying to give us pointers on what to do the next time or how to improve on a story or a production or whatever that is.
We were able to teach others behind us that are going to be, moving into these positions in the future. And that's part of what he's doing.
And so he took a lot of time of teaching people on how to approach stories, how to go out and tell a good story, and how to put things together.
Whatever the challenge, it seems like he's always ready to meet it.
He was like a Swiss Army knife. He did it all. So he just embraced every opportunity.
It's a hard balance to do, be both a boss and someone that, people respect and can come to whenever they need help and support.
He did everything with professionalism. He pushed us. In the end, we saw his heart and we saw the meaning behind the push.
Spent a lot of time together. We used to joke around. We spend more time together than with our own families, and he's staking out people, sleeping in the truck, covering snowstorms and everything. He was one of the best bosses I've ever had in my life.
And that lasting legacy, that footprint has been engraved in me, and I still take that and hold on to that till today.
He just knows all things. You can call him even now from the newsroom and go, what do you think about this? And he has an answer. He was the one that was putting all of this really good work and wanted to find really good stories for that Black History special that we did. And I think because of that, in a lot of ways, is why we have so many specials now, because it was so good material. So now we have so many of them, including mine. So I have him to thank. Warren, thank you. Have I called you and thanked you for this?
Congratulations, Warren, to this honor, the Silver Circle honor. You are well-deserved.
I want to say congratulations to you, Warren, on your induction into the Silver Circle.
And we thank you and we congratulate your career accomplishment.
I want to say thank you for all those hard talks we had. I thank you so much, man, for being that encouragement for me.
I'm so proud of you. Congratulations to you. This is well-deserved and definitely overdue. I'm proud of you.
And look, just because you're going into the Hall of Fame don't mean the work is over, all right? So just take your plaque and keep it moving. We need you.
I can't say enough good things about you. Congratulations, and let's enjoy an old-fashioned later.
Can't stay away. Come.
I was calm, cool, collected till I saw that video. Thanks, Kyra. Thank you to the committee. I just want to thank you, Kyra, for putting together that video and for submitting my name for consideration into the Silver Circle. I also want to thank the committee, Dr. Kraft, for this honor. I also want to thank the Rocky Mountain Board of Governors for agreeing with the committee's recommendation. And I also want to thank Laura Gates, John Warren, and Liana Enriquez for writing letters of recommendation. And congratulations to my fellow inductees tonight. I might be standing here at the podium alone, but I have never been alone in the support that I've received from my former colleagues at 6ABC, Arizona's family, WJTV, mentors, friends, and from my newest colleagues at the Arizona Department of Public Safety. For more than 40 years in the television industry and now communications, some of my biggest supporters are here tonight under one roof. My awesome son, Kyle, my daughter-in-law, Dakota, and the world's best grandson, Wes. They're here from Philadelphia. As I mentioned, my daughter, Kyra, is here, along with her wife, my other daughter-in-law, Tamira. I'm also excited to have my mom, Florine Trent, here. She turned 93 earlier this year, so it is a blessing to have her. And her younger sister, LaRue Albritton, my aunt, is here too, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. Now, I will share one story about my mom. So a few months after graduating from college, I was fortunate enough to get the job at ABC in Philadelphia. And I came home from work one day, I was still living at home, and I was having a quote-unquote bad day. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to quit this job. This is not for me. So Mom said, well, if you quit, I don't know where you're going to live. So I was like, well, I hadn't thought about that. So I listened to my mom, and I ended up staying at ABC in Philadelphia for 28 years. So glad I listened to you, Mom, and I love you very much. Being part of the Rocky Mountain chapter has been a tremendous honor. Soon after my very first Emmy nomination, Laura Gates and Teresa Mar Johnson, asked me if I would consider running to be a member of the Board of Governors. I'm like, you want me? Because I looked at the Board of Governors as being the gold standard of people in the broadcasting industry. And for them to see that quality in me, well, that meant everything. So thank you for making that suggestion and recognizing that in me. It has just been a tremendous honor being on the Board of Governors. I've made incredible friendships. I could name every single one of them. All of you have been great. There's one person that has just been unbelievable for me, and I've developed a very special relationship with Sue Bredding, my girlfriend now. I love you, sweetie, and I'm happy that we're together and hopefully for a very long time. Through the years, I've received tremendous support from many people along my journalism path. In 2023, I graduated from the National Association of Black Journalists Leadership Academy, where I was mentored by station presidents and GMs from across the country, some of whom I still stay in touch with today. My support from 6ABC, here at Arizona's Family, from Jackson, Mississippi at WJTV, where General Manager Jeff Guy and News Director Tai Takahashi brought me on board as being an assistant news director, and I'm forever grateful for that experience. And as you saw, I had an opportunity to work with the likes of anchor Byron Brown and Justin Burks, and that was just a tremendous experience. Here in Phoenix, working with people like Gary Harper, Todd Martin, and Liana Enriquez, who's like a sister to me, it was just an incredible experience. I am proud to have played a key role in helping the On Your Side franchise recover over $1 million in missing or swindled money for consumers. My support also came before, during, and after my tenure as president of the Arizona Association of Black Journalists. I've received support from my fraternity brothers from Alpha Phi Alpha, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, and my newest family, the Arizona Department of Public Safety, led by Colonel Jeffrey Glover. He and some of my colleagues from the Department of Public Safety are here tonight, and I thank you all for your support. Now, for those who know me, I don't often talk about my accomplishments. I'm usually a pretty humble guy. I'm going to make an exception right now. Yeah, I was that guy who was selected to be who's who for outstanding college seniors in America. I've received first-place journalism awards from the Philadelphia Press Association, the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters, Mississippi Association of Broadcasters. I've got a Murrow Award. I got an award from the Director's Award, Unit Citation Award from the Arizona Department of Public Safety. Also, yes, I got an Emmy, and I got a Murrow, and I got an Emmy nomination from the Southeast chapter based out of Atlanta. Not too bad for an inner city kid from Philadelphia. Now, through the years, I have covered many, many stories, sporting events, investigations, and they all have their memorable moments. But there was one story that I would say that was just, it stood out to me, and that was covering 9/11. I was assigned to go and interview a woman whose son was a flight attendant on one of the hijacked flights from Boston. and I showed up to her house, and I will never forget how remarkably composed she was in such a tragic, tragic day. And her bravery and courage always stood out to me. Now, there's a saying some of you may have heard attributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson: do not go where the path may lead, but go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I think I saw that actually in Arizona's Family Hall. Now, that is certainly what I have strived to do. It's been wonderful to see my son Kyle, who I love very much, use the example I set forth as his dad, to see him grow into a man becoming a husband and father and real estate entrepreneur. And for years, the path, led my daughter Kyra, to who I love equally as much, towards a career in television right here in Phoenix. All the years of me working in television, little did I realize I was leaving a trail. As a matter of fact, besides my family, I recognize there have been others who have followed my career progression. Some to this day see themselves in me as a source of pride and inspiration. Some of my high school classmates, college classmates, former interns, community members, working journalists today, some of whom I hear from asking me to look at their resume reels and things like that. I don't take my influence lightly, because someone is always looking and listening. Some are probably watching right now. In closing, my keys to success and resilience has been prayer, meditation, and a poem that it means a lot to me. It's called Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever the gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstances, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Thank you.
Minute, Kelton. That's okay, no problem.
All right, well, as you have seen tonight, man, that was an amazing speech. You're a lucky woman.
Thank you.
We have such a dedicated and diverse array of professionals in our region and on the board of the Rocky Mountain Regional Southwest Chapter of NATAS.
And leading the way for us is President Jennifer Jones, and heading up our event is Windsor Smith, and our chapter executive director is Jessica O'Toole. Would you three ladies please stand up?
Now, we also have numerous volunteer board members who help plan events, as well as a special group qualified of industry professionals who serve on the Gold and Silver Circle Selection Committee. Mike Harris also working as our videographer this evening. Mr. Will Pitts is our photographer. They burned a lot of calories running around shooting this thing tonight, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, they had. Will, all of the dedicated professionals who have served on a committee in order to make this night so special, please stand now with, along with Jen and Windsor. Jessica, will you all please stand up? Many, many hours of work.
There's one last that we got to add in, and it's for Sue Redding. She has produced this show. She has written this show. She has been the showrunner since it became its own beast a few years ago. Its standalone beast outside of the Emmy event that we have. So Sue, Keep knocking them dead. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Chad. It's truly a labor of love. And Chad, thank you for driving from Albuquerque to be here tonight.
My pleasure.
Thank you all. Okay, hey, Kelton, come on up.
Now he's chomping at the bit.
I got up here before and it was not my name in the teleprompter, and that was a terrifying moment. The Utah television market may be hundreds of miles away from Phoenix, but it is still a vital part of our regional chapter. My name is Kelton Wells, and I'm from PBS Utah. I also serve on the executive committee of our chapter. We have one honoree for the Gold Circle this year, and he also happens to be the first ever Gold Circle inductee from the Beehive State. Now, I'm going to go off script, which is terrifying for a producer to hear, and I know because I am a producer. Producers are only as good as the directors they work with, and I've had the honor for the last 5 years of working with my good friend Lee Allerton as, I'll say it, the best director I've ever worked with in this business. And if I'm sounding a little emotional, it's because we recently learned Lee is retiring in about a month, and I genuinely don't know how I'm going to keep doing my job without him. So Lee, this video we're about to watch, consider this our love letter to you. It was an honor to put it together with my colleagues Nancy, Phil, JR, and Cheryl. Now everyone join me in taking a look at the distinguished broadcasting career of my colleague and friend, Lee Allerton.
When Lee Allerton first picked up a television camera, Richard Nixon was president. Alice Cooper had just released School's Out, and you could get a gallon of gas for just 36 cents. Lee was only 17 years old when he started as a studio camera operator at KUTV in Salt Lake City in 1972. And he's been creating video magic ever since.
Broadcast professionals like Lee, they're unicorns.
Lee is very, very driven, but he's very fun to work with.
The amount of knowledge that he has, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife.
Early in his career, Lee never turned down opportunities to learn new skills and broaden his horizons.
Lee could do everything.
He was a master juggler.
He knew the technical side of it. He knew the creative side of it.
Not only was he an editor, but he was also a technical director, and he was an excellent camera operator.
From KUTV, Lee went on to spend time at commercial production houses like STS Production and Video West.
3-6 for 11. Short.
Then, in 1979, the Utah Jazz came to town.
Suddenly, we were tasked with learning how to shoot NBA basketball.
Never one to back down from an obstacle, Lee faced the challenge head on.
We all gathered together with Lee and some other friends that were covering the game, and we've spent a couple Sunday afternoons watching NBA basketball, and we watched how the networks covered basketball, and then we went about the business of doing the same.
Lee went on to spend 14 years with the team.
He could hold his own with anybody in the NBA.
But his passion for video production couldn't be contained to the studio or the basketball court.
From the Osmond Entertainment Center, it's the Children's Miracle Network Telethon.
For nearly 20 years, Lee brought his expertise to the Children's Miracle Network Telethon, working to raise millions of dollars to help kids during the toughest moments of their young lives.
Those days he would work around the clock. They never went to sleep.
Lee would fly out in advance, everywhere from Hawaii to New York, picking up shots.
You do those kinds of shows because you know how important it is. You know what it means to people. It's one of the things that we do in our career where it really makes a difference.
Now, let's go down to the Magic Kingdom as the University of Florida...
Lee's work also led to gigs with the Mouse himself. Over the years, Lee shot, directed, and edited several projects for Disney, including holiday parade segments and music videos that received national distribution.
He could do it all. I mean, he was a one-man band.
One-man band also describes Lee's preferred mode of transportation.
Cruising around on that really cool Harley. Nobody else is going to do that here, I think. So we're public television.
Lee's motorcycle is a regular fixture in the PBS Utah parking lot, where he's been post-production editor, studio director, and technical director since 2018.
I know that the people in production here not only respect Lee, not only respect his opinions and his knowledge and experience, but just love working with the guy because he takes care of his colleagues as well as the work.
It's also what makes people want to do their best for him when he's in the director's seat. They know that he appreciates their efforts and what they bring to the table.
He does provide that kind of quiet leadership and keeps things calm and under control.
And that translates into a much better production.
His work in public TV has earned him 9 Rocky Mountain Emmy Awards and nearly 24 nominations.
His body of work is excellent. I would put his body of work against just about anyone's.
It's his attention to detail, commitment to finding the heart of the story, and willingness to go the extra mile that truly set Lee apart.
I'd like to congratulate Lee on the Gold Circle Award. He totally and awesomely deserves it.
Prompters, no, I'm not Sue. Guess I should have written something down. This is so humbling. And forgive me for a minute. Once I get through this, I'll be all right. My life has been with a camera on my shoulder or in a control room or in an edit room. And I look at all these people who have preceded me in this honor and the ones that have been honored tonight, and the talent and the work they do, it humbles me to be gathered with them. It's just, I consider myself just one of the guys behind the scenes that does my best and puts my heart into supporting those productions. But I have to say to you, Silver Award winners, 25 years is nothing. You're just getting started. You've got so much more to accomplish, and I'll tell you right now, it'll go just like that. It'll be, I feel like 25 years was just a few minutes ago. I did start, I was offered a job as a studio cameraman at Channel 2 at barely 17 years old, at my first week in the senior in high school, and I've never looked back. I have to tell you that the first night I was there, I was following another cameraman. I just put a headset on so I could listen to what was going on. And I thought because of the video production course I went through in high school that I had a pretty good grasp of what was going on. But little did I know when I put that headset on that there were a lot of words and phrases, and I don't mean technical, that I experienced. I had 4 older brothers, and one of them, Arn, and his wife Jean, are here with me tonight, and they were nothing compared to what I considered old grumpy guys in the control room. As I moved on in my career, I was able to get in and start working as a TD in the control room. They both had cigarettes hanging out of their mouth, and I had to go like this to see the monitors, but they became very important mentors to me. And technology has just been one of those things that I've embraced. And I started editing on 2-inch quad machines where you had to stand between 2 machines and push play and then record. And that's how we edited commercials and local stories for the news and things. So I went through all the changes where we went to 1 inch and then beta, and then all of a sudden this thing, CMX came out where you could actually sit in a room with $1 million worth of equipment in your hands with several panels and control everything. And then so you got to be more creative and more creative. And then now, I swore at one point I'll never be sitting in front of a computer to do editing. And the new technology these days is just so amazing because you can be creative instead of mechanical. I really, being part of PBS Utah, they've always had a tradition of being high quality storytellers, and I got to come be part of that now, and it's a great way to end up my career. I've been there 7 years now, and I'm on my way out, but I was blessed to find that. I have to say that one of the opportunities I had was working for a production company that we were asked to be the production company for Children's Miracle Network, which was mentioned in the video. And 18 years of doing that show and being sent to a children's hospital and seeing a baby that was less than the size of a dollar bill, and knowing that that hospital was going to make sure that baby survived and live on. And I'll tell another story. There's a shot of a young man who, I don't remember where he was from, but we got news footage in on this story, and I had to edit it together to be shown on show the story during the telethon. And he had found a loaded shotgun, and somehow it went off, and it truly blew a quarter of the skull off of him. And I saw the original footage. They had it bandaged, but it was concave. And this is in the 80s where it looked like it was CGI, and it wasn't. And over the years, as he progressed, he would come and walk out on the stage. And you saw him progress, and he was becoming more and more. He was slow of speech, but he was going to be a thriving member of society. And just to watch that happen, and all the other stories I got to experience were just amazing. So I'm really blessed with my career. I was lucky I had several forks in the road, and I don't look back at any of the decisions I made. I've had a really wonderful career, so many good friends. I still have a group of friends I meet every other Wednesday morning that I've worked with for 45 years, and we're all in different areas. I'm the only one that hasn't retired yet, which is soon to happen, but we tell stories after stories and after stories, and Carrie, my partner, says the stories get better every time she hears them. So I just have to thank this opportunity. All my years, I've always put my heart into what I did, but joining PBS Utah gave me an opportunity to be recognized for what I do. I never thought about it. People would win Emmys and things like that, but it was the producers, and that's just the way, I always thought that's just the way it is. PBS Utah and the Academy just really likes to recognize every part of the people that are part of production. So thank you all. This is an amazing, amazing thing, and I'm retiring, but I'm not going away, and I hope somebody gives me a call once in a while and wants to know a little bit of my knowledge that I can share. And like Kelton says, I'm walking out of the door with a lot of knowledge that there's not really going to be anybody to replace. But my final words are, all of you keep doing what you're doing, and don't let what is becoming the YouTube world take over and destroy the quality of work we do. I don't care if that's where it's going to be distributed from now on, but don't let, I don't want to hear, well, it's only for YouTube, we don't have to do quality work, because I've heard that a few times. So anyway, thank you all.
Okay, yeah, here's what's so great about this event. It is the love in the room. It is the beautiful tears. It's the inspiring videos. It's the, the loved ones at all of the tables. Like Dean said, for all of the broadcasters in this room, we are your tribe. We hope you come back year after year and join us for this special event. We are finishing up. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I please present the Gold and Silver Circle Society Class of 2025. Will you, all of the inductees, please stand? Congratulations to you all.
So we will say our final good night, and we ask that our new inductees, now that they're sitting, we're going to ask you to stand up again, because you're going to make your way over to our step and repeat over here for a group picture, for your class pictures, guys. And with that, good night all. Thank you so much for coming.